So in this lesson here, we're going to take a look at solving square roots of fractions, and particularly we're going to be taking a look at which are going to give us nice values again, or nice rational numbers. So we're going to be looking at our perfect squares. Now remember that a perfect square is any value which can be described as the area of a square with nice, or what we call rational, side lengths. Okay. Now, normally a perfect square was natural numbers. We're going to bring it down to rational numbers as we dealt with decimals, and now again we're going to do the same thing with fractions. Okay. So these could be any natural number or decimals which end or repeat, or fractions. And we can use fractions as well. Now, if we take a look at this grid right here, this square is a 10 by 10 grid, which means that if we think of the sides as being 1, and so I'm just going to draw that out here. So let's say that this is a length of 1, okay? Then this would be a length of 10 over 10, 10 tenths, okay? Each square right here, so this little square right here is 1/10, okay? So then each of these will be 1/10. Each of these, each of those little squares on the inside is going to be 1/100th of the total, okay? So the area is 1/100th of the total, which means that like there's 100 squares, and so each one is 1/100th of the total. Now, any square which can be made in this grid can be thought of as a fraction. Okay? The side lengths of the square are the square root of the area. Okay? So this one right here, we can think of this as the fraction 100 over 100. Okay? If we think of the entire thing, the square root of 100 over 100 would be 10 over 10, or 1. We can think of it that way as well. Again, it's the side length, right? This is the side length of the total. If this is a 1 by 1, the area is 1, square root is 1. Now, let's look at the shaded portion of this here. We have a shaded portion of this grid here, which represents 36 out of the 100 spots, okay, or 36 out of the 100 places. So we have an area of 36 over 100. That's our area. Now we could simplify that. We could simplify that down to 9 over 25. Okay, but for the time being, we're just going to look at what would this give us here. So that's our area. Now the square root of that area, okay, the square root of that area is the length of the side. Okay, and you'll notice that the length of the side, okay, is 6/10. Okay, the side as well is 6/10, or 6 over 10s. So the square root of this here is going to be 6 over 10. Now, anytime we can draw out a square on here, okay, the area will be, the length of the side will be the square root of the area, okay? That's for any single square. If we would need to, we could cut this into even smaller, but for the time being, we're just going to take a look at we're just going to take a look at ones that are a little bit more similar to this total. So the area is the shaded region, 36 over the total, which is 100, and the square root is the length of the side, okay, of that shaded region compared to the total. Now, question 1 on your assignment gives you a couple of grids, and you're asked to find the square root of the area. You're asked to find the area as well as the square root. And so work on question 1, come up with the area of the shaded region, and then find what is the length of the side. That is the square root of that area. Now, they will all be nice perfect square values in here, and so they're going to be perfect square values or square roots on as the answer as well.